This week on the Analog Circle podcast, we get more news about Starfield coming over to PlayStation 5 and a possible release date. PlayStation's exclusive Wolverine gets a positive update that got me and quite a few other people pretty excited. If you're looking forward to Halo Remake and Gears of War Eday, insider Tom Warren has an alleged time frame that you should expect these titles to drop in between, as well as a bit of an update, a small morsel of an update about Fallout 3 Remake. And PlayStation is having their State of Play event tomorrow. Oh, it's gonna be a lot to discuss in this episode that is 372 of the Analog Circle podcast. I am your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and welcome to the show. Come on in, sit down, and relax, because we're gonna have a great conversation today. And if you are traveling, hopefully we can accompany you to your destination. Now, as always, if you guys want to be a part of the conversation, you can always call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice be heard. Or you can email the show, and the email address is simply the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Now, before I get started, I want to shout out a couple of people that always write into the show. I want to shout out to Mr. Lawrence Jones. He's doing amazing work. Good gosh, amazing work over on the Facebook page of the Analog Circle. So shout out to you, Mr. Lawrence Jones, Cody Clark, Mike J. Me and Mike J had a conversation the other day, and this brother brought something to my attention that I found very interesting. I'm going to get into it in a little bit, but shout out to you, brother. Glovebox Gaming as well. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. This brother's over there doing great things. I'm talking about he is up there uploading something brand new every single day. So shout out to you, my brother. Crimson Phoenix, for always writing in. I appreciate you, as well as Vaughn and Texas Tony as well, man. Thank all of you brothers for all of the support and encouragement. I appreciate y'all. But that leads me to this. I want to get to know you guys. I want to get to know you guys on a first name basis. So one way of doing that is by calling in or emailing the show like these brothers have done in the past. But what I want to do is, and you guys know this, switched up the format a little bit. So of course, we usually would have ended with the question of the week, but I'd rather start with it from this point on. So the question that I have for you guys this week, which I would love to hear from you guys about, is, do you have remake fatigue? Now, we know that Final Fantasy VII has been remade. Now, I will say that game right there, my gosh, I don't think anybody was upset about that one, especially those visuals, the graphics on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Unbelievable. You also had Resident Evil, 4 that came out this generation. Resident Evil 3 Remake, Resident Evil 2 Remake. We've had Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, this generation. The Last of Us Part 1. That one right there, I didn't really see what the need for that was for.
Move this man!
Listen. I didn't see why we needed a Last of Us remake. Doggone, the game already looked great. But then we have Dead Space that's come out this generation. That game looked remarkable too, and I did love some of the extra gameplay elements that they added to it as well. And now you have Yakuza Kiwami 3 that's released, not getting great reviews thus far, seeming like they didn't really add too much to it. But my question is, again, are you guys in the ballpark of it's too many remakes, not enough new IPs that are releasing? Me, I think that it's a time and a place for certain remakes. For me, The Last of Us Part 1 being remade this fast, that definitely didn't need to happen. I don't think that, what else, man? Well, I will say, I agree with Dead Space. I think that was a great remake, as well as Final Fantasy VII. Resident Evil 4, I mean, is it the biggest upgrade graphically? I mean, that Joker looked pretty good. I'm not going to tell any lies. That Joker looked pretty doggone smooth, if you ask me. Now, granted, I only played the demo. I got the game, and I ain't even beat that yet. Haven't even taken it out of the wrapper. You know, that Joker is still, unfortunately, is still in the wrapper, brothers. You know.
Yo, killing me with this.
Hey, listen, I'm going to get to the doggone thing, okay? I'm going to get around to the darn game. It's just I got a lot on my plate right now. But I'm asking y'all the question, are you guys finished with this? Do you guys want these companies to move forward, or are you enjoying the ride of these remakes? Overall, I got to say, for me, I am enjoying it. I absolutely love it. I would love to see them do more. Of course, you got to have a balance. Everything has to be a balance. Give us some new IPs, give us some sequels to some games that we would like. But also some of these games, I think they are justified to be able to get some remakes. Now, Uncharted 1 and 2 and 3, I don't think you need to necessarily go down that road. I don't think so. I think that the Uncharted's, maybe if I looked at them today, I might be like, ooh, I don't know, Jokers look rough. Maybe. You know, but not really. Gears of War Reloaded, not really a remake. More of a, I guess, just an upgraded, what do you call it, remaster, more so. So, yeah, I'm not upset with it overall. Not at all. I think that just keep them coming, but in moderation, and certain titles should take how can I say it? They should take priority over others. But I want to hear from you. And as always, if you do want to be a part of the conversation, call in at 667-284-9057, or again, email us at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. So without further ado, with that being out the way, let's go ahead and let's get into what we all come here for. And that is no doubt the gaming news that went down. So you know we got to get things started with a little bit of rumors.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day.
So I got this story from Insider Gaming. So let's get the news started, like this. So this is according to a report from PPE, who allegedly obtained internal documentation from a video game distributor that revealed, and we've heard from PPE before about a week ago, but this time they revealed that Starfield, the once Xbox exclusive, will make its debut on PlayStation 5 on, hold for it, April 7th, 2026. Golly, now is this true or not? I don't know. But let's continue with the report. Now, PPE is they're batting. This is the thing. Their batting average is about 50% when it comes to their rumors lately, as far as I know. Now, they were wrong about GTA 6 not having a physical release day and date. We saw that got debunked last week. But on the positive side, their track record of leaking the physical game releases, it usually is pretty good. It's pretty good for the most part. They just messed up on that one. So just like all rumors, take this with a mustard seed of truth. But if it is true, PlayStation fans will probably get access to the latest 2.0 update for the game. I tell you what, Starfield, I would be lying to y'all if I told y'all that this was at the top of my list. Absolutely not. I'm not a fan of Fallout. I'm not a fan of Oblivion. I'm not a fan of what Todd Howard really does. But I will say, Starfield, man, the reviews and everything that came out on this game, I don't know. It seems mid at best. Matter of fact, I want to know what is the Metacritic score on this Joker? Does anybody know what the Metacritic score is? I'm going to find out. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. What is the Metacritic score of Starfield? We need to know this.
For Starfield varies depending on the platform you're looking at, though it generally sits in the generally favorable range for critics and a more polarizing mixed range for users.
All right.
For early 2026, here is the breakdown of the scores. Critic Metascore. The Metascore is an aggregate of professional reviews from gaming outlets. Platform Metascore.
Yeah.
PC 87, generally favorable.
Xbox Series 10, 83, generally favorable.
That's pretty
User
good.
score. The user score is often lower than the critic score, reflecting a mix of genuine player feedback and
All right,
review.
well, cool. We ain't got to go into all of that. So 83, that's actually pretty respectful. Now, I will say that with this update coming as well, man, ain't no telling. I'm hearing Star Wars mods are being made in the game and all kind of TIE fighters flying everywhere and whatnot. I would be excited about this. Maybe. 83 is pretty good. I can get behind that. Some space travel and traveling through different planets and things of that nature. I might be able to get jiggy with it just a tad bit, just a taste. Maybe. But we'll see. I'm curious to know, are y'all picking this one up? I can't say for sure that I am, but it might be on my radar, quite possibly. We'll have to see how it goes. But let's go ahead, though. Matter of fact, man, well, I don't want to jump too ahead of myself. We're going to get there. Well, for the meantime, let's go ahead and for the sake of time, because I got to be up at 9:30, and I'm recording this at 6:52 p.m., so I ain't going to get no doggone sleep. So let's go ahead and let's get into the next story that I actually got from Insider Gaming. So 2 episodes ago, we found out from Insider Kiwi Talks Riley that at some point, Red Dead Redemption 2 Remake would be releasing for this generation. Well, for me, I'm not sure about Kiwi's accuracy on leaks and info, but this week we get more promising news from an insider that I know has a proven track record, and that is, of course, Nate the Hate. Now, Nate was asked the question on X about whether the game got pushed back to next year, of course, 2027, where Nate replied that as far as he knows, the game's release plan is for, quote, this year, end of quote. So who knows? Maybe Red Dead Redemption 2 Enhanced Edition may still release this year, but in a year where you have so many games coming out, and I do mean this is gonna be an awesome year. You got Wolverine, you got Reanimal, you got Directive 8020 coming out. Matter of fact, hold the presses. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Hold on. Now I will say, getting back to this, hold on. Now, as far as Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out this year. I mean, this is a stacked year. And we don't even know what else may come as the year progresses. I don't know if Rockstar is going to do this. This year, 2026, if they were to do it, if it did happen, and we know that their campaign for GTA 6 is going to start over the summer, I would tell you, if they released Red Dead Redemption 2, not remake, but I guess current generation edition, I would say if they released it in the springtime, I would definitely pick this up. I would pick this up because I was a big fan of Red Dead Redemption 2. That Joker was slow though. In the beginning, it was slow. I mean, you had to really hang in there to get through the doggone game. But once it got going, though, once the train started getting down the tracks and picking up speed, Joker was real good. It was a doggone great game. But again, for me, I would revisit it at 60 frames per second, 4K resolution. Y'all know all of the bells and whistles that we're looking for as hardcore gamers. All of those things, I would definitely give it a shot and buy it. Hopefully it's not $70 though. You know, y'all know Rockstar, they be tripping sometimes. You know, they get a little above they self at times. I'm just hoping, man, let us do a $10 upgrade or something like that, man. Y'all know Rockstar ain't doing that. But we'll see what happens, man. Maybe the game comes out later on this year. Maybe it doesn't. But again, according to Nate the Hate, he's hearing that it's going to release sometime this year. Let's go ahead, guys, and let's get into the next story that I got from Eurogame. Hold on. Now, wait a minute. Now, I just mentioned this game. Hold on. I would be remiss if I was to just speed by this detail. Y'all heard me talk about the Directive 8020, which is one of my most anticipated games this year, which is also a game that is by Supermassive. This game right here, I am so excited for because I believe this game falls in the category of the Dark Pictures anthology. And what those guys at Supermassive have done, oh man, we know that their pinnacle, and I know they're still chasing it, their pinnacle was, of course, Until Dawn. You couldn't get much better than that. That game was amazing. But I will say, this game right here, Directive 8020, it has a release date. And the release date is coming. Well, the release date of the game is May 12th, 2026. So that's when the game is releasing. And Supermassive actually brought out a trailer. So let's go ahead and let's check out that trailer right now.
It's me! You gotta let me in! They're right behind me! Open the fucking door! You can't leave me out here! Please!
You gotta make a choice.
Goddamn step.
It's me, please.
Fucking alien. Leave me out here, please.
The question is, what are you going to do about it?
Directive 8020 is going to be something amazing. Doggone. I tell you, I cannot wait to start making some choices in that game right there. I am very, very excited about this. Man, that game looks nice, too. I don't know what engine it's using, but, man, that's a pretty looking engine. Let's go ahead, guys, and let's get into the next story that I got from Eurogamer. So we have a new report coming out from another reliable insider, Tom Warren, as it pertains to Gears of War Eday and Halo Combat Evolved Remake. So the report is claiming that Gears Eday will release in the second half of 2026. I guess what's that, June to doggone, July to December. That's a heck of a doggone, man, that's a heck of a window, I tell you that much. But it's supposed to be coming out in the second half of 2026. But Halo 1 Remake, this has a way more specific time frame. He's saying that this game is going to come out in the summer of 2026. So we will see if this actually happens. Now, Tom also said, and I quote, "I understand Microsoft has a good idea of when both should launch, but it's also keen to avoid being too close to GTA 6's November 19th date." End of quote. Man, these jokers running from, golly, Grand Theft Auto is the doggone, man, is the bully on the block. These jokers out here like the gooch, back on different strokes, man, taking people's doggone lunch money. They Debo. These jokers scared of Grand. Now, wait a minute. Now we know Grand Theft Auto, they are the big guy on the block. Nobody wants to be out there when GTA is out there. Who's coming? Doggone like Omar. Omar coming. GTA is coming, doggone it. Coming down the street, let's get the heck out of Dodge. But daggone, is it really that serious? Yeah, it's really that serious. Who the heck am I kidding? I would be nervous too. But so, this is the thing. Summertime for Halo. Gears, if they were to release Gears, I would have to believe that if they're trying to avoid Grand Theft Auto 6, Debo, they trying to avoid gaming Debo, then they got to come out sometime no later than, September? Maybe October, somewhere around there. It just really is something else to see these people, these companies strategically. Like, I'm not going up against that joker. I can't beat him. Doggone jokers like Drago out here. I can't fight him. I can't win. So we have to see what happens with this situation. But another interesting thing, man, trust me, I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is a major problem. I'm having some fun. But, doggone, it is just always interesting to see, how these companies react to each other. And now wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something, brothers and sisters, that all of these companies scared to death of GTA 6, and it comes out and it ain't even that great. Gets a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, that's a good score. 7.5, 8 out of 10. That's above average. But, I just don't know. I don't know, man. 8 out of 10 for a game that's been in development for 10 years, you lost. As far as I'm concerned, you missed your target. $1 billion behind your project, yeah, you lost. Yeah, you got beat. If you can't get a 10 out of 10 with $1 billion budget, man, oh my gosh. Yeah, you did not make the mark. But we'll see. But anyway, moving on into something else that Tom Warren said that I thought was interesting. He also mentioned the Fallout remake, where The Verge is reporting that it's in, quote, active development, end of quote, and that Bethesda wants the project to reach a quality bar similar to Oblivion Remake. So we know that a lot of people, of course, I didn't play Oblivion, had no intentions on playing that game, but some people thought it was more than just a remaster. Some people thought it was actually a remake, as beautiful as it came out. So it seems like, again, if Tom Warren and The Verge, if their reporting is 100% true, then it looks like as far as graphical fidelity, and the quality of the project goes, it's going to fall somewhere in between that quality if this report is true for, again, the alleged Fallout 3 remake. Let's go ahead, guys, and let's get into some quick news that I got from Push Square. So Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Info has been spotted by Wario64 from their Steam page. God dog, got this off the PC, Joker. So it says there will be 20 playable characters at launch, and there will be this got me excited. There will be a single player episode mode which will ease gamers into the game mechanics and, quote, learn more about the lore, end of quote. So right off the bat, 20 characters that you'll be able to choose. Now, if I'm not mistaken, is this game going to be 4-on-4 or 2-on-2? I can't quite remember exactly what it is. If it's 4-on-4, 20 characters, yeah, at launch, that is good. But man, oh man, you have 5 matches. You pretty much went through all of the characters that you're going to be able to use. But we'll see. I think this is great news, and I do believe that as we get into it, I mean, of course, I'm going to talk about it when we get there, but just quickly, I do believe this is going to be a PlayStation State of Play event. We're going to get there, though. But we'll see. 20 characters, expect that out the gate, and I'm sure DLC will be coming very shortly thereafter. But I am interested in this single player episode mode. Y'all know I could care less about online gaming. It's not really my thing. I'm in it for the stories. I want to know about the story. You know, that's the thing that gets me. Single player gaming experiences are where I lay my hat, or hang my hat, as people say. I could care less about all of the other stuff that goes on. And I'm sure I'm missing out on some great experiences, but I'm terrible online. I'm getting sniped. I'm getting knocked off. I told y'all, only 2 games I was pretty nice at, and I still got beat, but I could at least have a chance of winning, and did get a couple of wins under my belt, was Rockstar Table Tennis and Fight Night Champion. Fight Night Champion. I was kind of nice. I wasn't great, but I could hold my own against some pretty tough guys that had some pretty good records. You know, I got a lot of knockouts on me too, though, you know, as far as me getting knocked out. But outside of those 2 games, not too much more that I really try to get into. So, you know, but I am interested in this. Oh, you know what, though? Now, I give myself a little bit more credit. I did play Marvel versus Capcom 3 online, and that was actually fun. Maybe that's my lane. Maybe I'm more of a person where it's got to be mano-y-mano. I'm not for 6, 10, 12, 24 players, all that stuff. That's really outside of my wheelhouse. But if it can be a one-on-one kind of situation, I kind of like that. I do like the one-on-one versus, but not like a whole bunch of other people. So yeah, the Marvel versus Capcom 3, that was actually fun. I definitely got beat up in that one, though. I got maybe 2 wins online, but it was fun, though. I had such a great time. And I beat a guy that was beating everybody, because you remember back then in that game, and I did love this, you could actually spectate. You could be a spectator and look at the matches, and this guy was washing everybody, including me. I just kept coming back because I was a glutton for punishment. And eventually, I beat him. And when I beat him, I tried to hurry up and get out of the match. When I beat him, that joker pulled me by the back of my doggone shirt, said, "Nah, get back here, brother. Get on back. You got to fight again." Man, if I didn't get the fur knocked off of me in that second match, God, dog, that joker, man, it was like he took offense that I was even able to beat him once. And I mean, I don't know if he might have got a perfect on a brother in the first round. I felt like I didn't get one hit off. That joker was juggling me in the air, man. I couldn't do a doggone thing. You know, so it was what it was. Joker wouldn't let me just walk away with my W in peace. He wanted to beat me up again. I said, it is what it is. But I did have fun. But anyway, with this Marvel Tokon situation, maybe I will pick this up. This might be kind of nice. This might be dope, man. I mean, the single player episodes, who knows how that's going to go. But again, I'm sure we'll get some more of this at the show, at the PlayStation show. But good grief. Let me go ahead and move on, though. I can tell you this episode is going to be over an hour long. We got quite a bit to cover. But let's go ahead and let's get into the next story that I got from Rockstar Intel. So if you're like me, I'm sure you're looking forward to, and I know we talked about this too, these remakes. But if you're like me, I'm sure you're looking forward, to more news, about Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes. And since Remedy had their Q4 financial results on February 10th, 2026, I thought that, that would have been a perfect time to do so, to let us know what's going on with Max Payne 1 and 2 remake, since they are working on it. Now, during that conference, that financial meeting, it was discussed that despite a 46.3% increase in revenue due to Alan Wake 2 royalties and control sales, despite that, they ended up taking a $14.9 million or 14.9 million euros loss in operating costs. I said, God, dog, that's tough. 14.9 million euros loss in operating costs, but they did generate a 0.7 million euros operating profit. Now, how the world did that work? They lost it in operation costs, but they generated 0.7 million euros operating profit. Listen, man. It is what it is. I guess a little bit is better than nothing. Now, they changed CEO leadership from Marcus Mackey to a former EA developer and executive. His name is Gene Charles, which this joke ain't even in the seat yet, but some people are already showing a little bit of concern over this guy being able to take over the reins over there at Remedy. So we'll see what happens with that situation. We know that EA execs don't necessarily have the best, I'm not going to say that. I mean, EA has been doing pretty good lately. I know they got a rough pass. I know these jokers have done some things that have been anti-consumer, but sometimes if somebody running an entity, a company, is making changes and you can see the changes and they've been pretty clean for a couple of years, then, you might can give them the benefit of the doubt, but some people are not doing that right now. But anyway, despite all of that, Marcus, who's still the CEO right now, he actually explained why Max Payne wasn't talked about. He said, quote, "Unfortunately, the Max Payne communications are all driven by Rockstar. So we are working on it hard, but that's all I can say." End of quote. So as it stands, yes, they are the developer, but Rockstar is the money. They're the one that's funding the project. They're the ones that are going to be, I guess, pretty much doing the advertising and talking about the project because, yes, we know Remedy, they are the original creators of the Max Payne franchise, but of course, Rockstar bought the Max Payne IP. So they own it. So unfortunately, I'm sure as much as they would like to say something, they are bound to secrecy because Rockstar are the ones that will be doing the communication when it comes to this title. Well, these titles. Now, there is an unofficial estimate about when the game could or should release. They're saying that the insiders are saying that by spring of 2027, the game should release. And I got to say, that would make sense because this year, Remedy has Control Resonant that's releasing in the second quarter. So that's between April and June. So it's no way that they could be I mean, I'm sure they could be working on both titles and possibly be able to have both of them out at the same time, but the timeline doesn't add up. And why would you want to put two titles out there that are pretty much from your studio, even though you don't really have you got a dog in a fight with Max Payne 2. I know they're not putting the money up per se, but I'm sure they'll get some money on the back end or however they structured the deal with Take-Two when it comes to that. So I'm sure that it would be in their best interest to make sure that the game can get as much money as possible. So we'll see what happens with this in the long run. But the other thing that I did want to say though is what else did I want to say? Yeah, that's it. Ain't nothing too much more to say than that. I feel like I'm missing something here. Yeah, man, I'm missing a whole lot. I'm looking at my doggone joint. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, all right, hold on, man. All right, now I do want to say this as well. IGN. Let's move on to the next story. So this is quick news. IGN, which is where I got this from, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is really dope. It's going to be releasing on Xbox Series and Switch 2 on June 3rd. So if anybody does have either one of those platforms, be sure to pick that up on June 3rd. Now, yes. What I wanted to talk about. Oh, man, I got to take a minute with this one, brothers and sisters. I got to take a minute. Did y'all check out that Pragmata demo? Did y'all see that demo? God damn! Man, I am so hyped up about that one. Oh, brother. Man, let me tell you something. Not only does the game look real nice, that RE engine is working, Jack. Oh, it's working. You can see the little Android girl's hair just flowing through the doggone environment. I was like, wow, this game looks good. And the thing is, I will say this, granted, I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and act like it didn't have a couple of faults. For some reason, during my playthrough of the demo, I kept getting stick drift. Every time I moved the character, I stopped moving the character, and the character kept on moving. Did any of y'all experience that? Because I know I doggone sure did. I'm like, man, I've stopped the character from moving. He want to keep going like he thinking on his own. I said, God, dog, I hope that they can fix that before the game actually releases. But I will say, though, despite that, and oh, man, and the other negative thing I got to say, man, I have become a doggone snob. Oh, I've become a 60 frames per second doggone snob.
Who's this man?
I can't help it. Oh, man, I can't help it. I am addicted to 60 frames. I got an addiction. Oh, my goodness. I was up there playing the game. And I said, man, this Joker moving slow.
Y'all killing me with this.
I said, golly, this Joker is in quicksand right now. As slow as he was moving, I said, oh my gosh, I hope, Capcom, if you're listening to this, I hope that you do something about that performance. Darn the doggone graphical fidelity. I don't need the little android's hair flowing through like she on Baywatch or something, on a beach, having all this kind of air like she on vacation or something, flowing through a doggone android. I don't need none of that, the physics or none of that stuff. Get that frame rate up the doggone snuff, because that right there, that man, that was a little rough. That was a little rough. But despite that, though, despite the slow frame rate and all of that stuff, Man, I will say that gameplay, though. That gameplay loop with the enemies, man, oh my gosh. I have never played a more original gameplay loop than that, where you're actually hacking the enemies on the fly. That joint was amazing. That was incredible. Way better than I was expecting. I'm like, man, this stuff can get real. This can get very technical. And I'm like, man, I can only imagine with the harder enemies how much harder it's going to be to hack them. That was so cool, man. I am just so glad to see that Capcom has come out with a new IP that I definitely got to show support to this one. I was very, very impressed on what I played. And despite the, my negative comments, I'm not being extra. I'm being dead serious about what I said. But I will say, despite that, it's still a game that I do want to pick up. I'm curious to know that any of you guys actually take the time out to actually play the demo and give it a try. Pardon me. Because this was another interesting stat too. This demo, and this is the first time I've ever seen stats for how many times people downloaded a demo. They said that Pragmata got downloaded like over 1 million times. Over 1 million times that demo got downloaded. And that was when I was looking over the weekend. On Monday when they were talking about that. It's Wednesday today. And they had already reached 1 million for that demo. So I think that this game definitely will have some legs. I love what they're doing. It just, man, there's something about that gameplay loop that really, really, man, they had me hook, line, and sinker with that joint, man. As long as they do the frame rate a lot better, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. But I want to know you guys' thoughts on that demo. But let's go ahead and let's move on. Oh, man, we got to get into probably the biggest story of the week, doggone it. Doggone PlayStation dropped bombs. So let's get into it. So this week, tomorrow to be exact, on Thursday, February 12th, PlayStation will be having their next State of Play event. Now, it's things here that make me a little more excited about this State of Play than others in the past. Is this event will run for 60 plus minutes. These jokers said we gonna be up there for 60 plus minutes.
What you talking about?
I said, what? 60 plus minutes. That is one thing. The next thing that they're gonna have is they're gonna be covering news, gameplay updates, and announcements from, and I gotta shout out this brother, shout out to Jeff Grubb, because he called this. They're gonna be doing updates and announcements from game studios across the globe, shining a spotlight on eye-catching third-party and indie games headed to the PlayStation 5 platform. But surprisingly, and this is the thing where what Jeff said was true. Surprisingly, they will also feature the latest from teams at PlayStation Studios. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Oh, man. I said what? I said what? It got me to thinking. I mean, my mind was all over the place. I'm up there. Is Intergalactic gonna be there? Is Sony Ben gonna be there? Is the DLC for Ghosts of Yotei gonna be there, or whatever the case may be? I mean, I'm thinking of so many different things. We know that PlayStation has had to change direction this generation when it came to their strategy of having all of those, oh my goodness, all of those online gaming experiences, all of that stuff, they had to change that up because that was not going to work. And we know they've had to do quite a few, not do-overs, but they've just had to change the direction of where they were going. So we know that as a result of that, we haven't really seen anything, from some of these key developers. I mean, is the rumored God of War 2D game going to be there? Are we going to see something from Insomniac? Now, I will say, I got to preference this. People that think Wolverine is going to be at this show, that ain't going to happen. PlayStation already said last year that they're going to have an update for Wolverine in the spring. Now, I mean, Insomniac, what they could possibly do, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe give the date of when the Wolverine event will be. Maybe it's something to keep the fan base excited after this show, knowing that the Wolverine showcase is going to be coming up soon. Maybe we get something like that from Insomniac. I mean, maybe. I don't think we're going to get anything more than that. Hold on, though. But you know what? It just occurred to me. Now, I don't know. You know how these companies, they be trolling. They like to get they troll on too. But they did, Insomniac that is, they did show something about Sunset Overdrive. They were on X, and they just had Sunset Overdrive just out there, just relax and showed that off. Would they make a remake of that? Sunset Overdrive. I loved Sunset Overdrive. I thought that game was dope. It was so much fun. The weapons that they had in the game, it was so good. I would love for the PlayStation fan base to get a taste of that. Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe they own that IP, because I don't think when Microsoft released Sunset Overdrive, I think they were just a partner. I think they let Insomniac keep the IP. So we know that PlayStation bought Insomniac, which means that they pretty much own the IP, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, we don't have to think. Well, anyway, I don't want to look that up. I don't want to mess up the flow. I mean, it could be so many things that could be at this show. It could be some big announcements, some medium-sized announcements, small announcements. I'm hoping that we see Resident Evil there. If we get a demo of Resident Evil 9 Requiem or something, I know that's a stretch. I know it is. But the game is coming out later on this month. What better way to get the fan base just that much more excited than releasing a demo tomorrow for everybody to be able to play? It's already a lot of buzz around the game. The game looks beautiful. Looks like it's going to be amazing. Just having that demo out there, oh, come on, man. You just released Pragmata. Come on, man. You can release a small, short paint size of Resident Evil 9. Maybe we get something like that. I know it was a rumor that was saying Devil May Cry might make a doggone debut at this show. Now, if they have DMC, that DMC 6, oh, my gosh. I just might faint. I might blow a doggone gasket. I was just talking about how much I loved DMC 5. It was the first DMC game I ever played all the way through. No, it's not the first one. The first one I played was literally DMC, the game that was developed by Ninja Theory. That was technically the first Devil May Cry game I actually played all the way through. But by Capcom, the Devil May Cry is by Capcom. That was the first one that I'd ever played and beat. So if DMC shows up at this show, oh man, that would be incredible. I mean, we got so many different things that can happen. And when I'm saying so many, it's only a certain amount of things that can realistically happen. I don't know if Naughty Dog shows up with Intergalactic. Maybe we get a small teaser for that as well, to hold us over to maybe the summer. Because Naughty Dog, I ain't counting the Last of Us remakes and Last of Us Part 2 remasters. I'm not counting any of that. Those jokers been quiet all generation. All generation. And y'all know Naughty Dog is my top 3 and my top 3 best developers out there. So it's no doubt that I know they got some fire with this game. We just need to see something. So I'm just curious to know, because I don't want to keep going around in a circle over and over and over again. So I'll tell you what. How about this? Y'all tell me. Call in, email the show. I want to know, what was your favorite game at this show? It doesn't even have to be one favorite game. Give me a couple of them. What games actually got you excited about this show and made you say, you know what? Sony did a great job on this show, or did it not do a doggone thing for you? Did you think the show was a failure? I would love to hear from you guys with that, because I don't want to keep drawing this thing out. But it's so many possibilities, though. It's a nice amount of possibilities that could happen, because it's not just focusing on PlayStation, but it's focusing on multiple different teams, development teams that are in the industry. So, I mean, they could get some exclusive deals, could go in a couple of different directions. But anyway, let's go ahead, though, guys, for the sake of time, and let's get into the next story. Now, I was actually talking about Wolverine, so hold on, give me 1 second. Pardon me. So I was just talking about Wolverine. I want to get into this story that I actually got from Screen Rant, which, it is some good news about Wolverine, like I was saying in the beginning. So it was confirmed at Sony's Q3 FY 2025 fiscal results report that, quote, next fiscal year, this is Sony talking, quote, next fiscal year, we plan to release new titles such as Soros and Marvel's Wolverine, and we intend to enhance our efforts to increase the revenue of our studio business. End of quote. So there it shows right there that it looks like Wolverine is still on for this year, quite possibly falling, which is the rumored time frame, falling in the fall of 2026, which would be sensational. Of course, I know everybody wants to dodge Debo, big bully on the block rock star, but with Wolverine coming out and which I think Wolverine, listen, man, look, I know Rockstar. I know what they do. I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is doggone Freddy Krueger out this mother lover. I understand all of that, but I do believe that Wolverine would be able to still do some damage. Who ain't going to pick up Wolverine? That's one of those games, I think, especially with Insomniac's track record, I think Wolverine could definitely live. It would be able to breathe, walk around outside, not having to cower and be scared about Grand Theft Auto 6 out there. Be like, shoot, I'm outside too. I think Wolverine would be just fine whenever that game releases. So if they're talking about fall of 2026, when it's going to come out, this game is going to sell. I mean, it's going to sell very, very well. So again, hearing that it's still coming out this year, that really, really, really gets me excited. But anyway, we'll see what's going on with Wolverine sometime later on in the spring. And we'll probably get the official release date during that situation, during that show. But let's go ahead, though, guys. There's something else I wanted to get into. Oh, yeah, some more PlayStation news. Yeah, we're almost done. We will be able to get out of here in an hour. This was very, very interesting. I got this story from IXBT. So it's IXBT Games, pardon me. I wanted to so bad, but I don't like being biased. So I can't gloss over the fact that PlayStation, man, these jokers, quote, they made and this is off of their quote other software end of quote category, they made 2.37. These jokers made $2.37 billion in revenue by putting certain titles like H-Divers and MLB The Show, etc. on Xbox. And these jokers made a boatload on Xbox and PC. God,
Show me the money.
$2.37 billion. Oh, man. I would be lying. I would be absolutely lying to y'all if I am not a little bit nervous, because you make that kind of money on other platforms. It is just a matter of time before you turn over there on that side. Like, look to the right. Like, dag, we making that much bank over on that side. Man, listen, I don't know. You know, I got a fiduciary doggone I have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders to get all of us as much money as possible. I'm telling you, man, this is very, very, very interesting. You making that kind of money over on the other platforms. Oh, man, Sony, you got, man, listen. Got to tread carefully with this one. Now, this is the thing, though. Sony does see exactly what happened when Microsoft leaned too far into just giving their games away. Of course, they're not free. Of course, if I want them, I got to pay for them 1,000%. So they're not giving them away. I'm being very extra, with that. But they are making it accessible on other platforms. And we see that has not necessarily, as far as the console business, it hasn't worked out for them as well as, I'm not even going to say as well as they thought it would. I'm sure they knew that it was going to be a sacrifice, and I think it was something that they were willing to do. That their CEO, what's his name? Can't even think of his name right now. But I'm sure that he knew that was probably going to be a result of that. But we know that Satya Nadella, that's his MO anyway. He doesn't want anything exclusive. If it can make money, he's going to put it on another platform. Put it on Apple if he has to, if it can make money. So we see what that got Xbox as far as their consoles go. And I'm sure that PlayStation Sony themselves, they are in multiple things as well. They got cameras, they're in film, music. I mean, they're very, very much so diversified as far as their portfolio and things that they have going on. But we do know that PlayStation is a big part of their business. And selling consoles is a big part of their business as well. So I just don't think that Sony, and of course you never know for sure, but I think that Sony will continue to be strategic about their releases, not doing it day and date with games like Wolverine, Uncharted, or The Last of Us, God of War. They're big mainstay IPs. I don't think that they will do that, at least not for the foreseeable future. But you never know, with numbers like 2.37 billion in revenue. That's tempting for anybody, any company to say, man, maybe we got to re-strategize. So who knows what's going to happen as a result of this? I guess only time will tell, because these companies, they all about the money. And I get it, as they should be, because you got to have the money to stay afloat. But also do it in a way where your customer fan base feels And I know feelings are fleeing, it's fleeting, but, make sure that you make it so your customers feel like they're being respected and appreciated, and that there's some kind of exclusivity there so that they feel a reason, a purpose to actually go out and buy your console, because that's the problem with Xbox right now. There is no real purpose, no real reason to get the Xbox unless you are just a diehard Xbox fan. I didn't like the practices that they were doing. I didn't like the way they started treating me as a customer, giving PC things that they weren't giving the console guys, having us waiting on the sideline while they're continuously trying to cozy up the PC. I'm like, yeah, dog, I ain't got to take this. Not going out here and going wave no flags and, make no signs, boycott Xbox. Man, heck no. You just won't get my money on the next go round. And thus far, they have not. I still don't have an Xbox. So we'll see what happens, though. But closing this episode out, I did want to give a shout out to Tarsier. Oh, the guys over there that have made Reanimal, which comes out on Friday the 13th. As it stands right now, Reanimal, another one of my most anticipated games this year, is sitting at a 80 on Metacritic after 40, count them, 40 reviews. And I tell you, they have been saying some very, very glowing things about what these guys have accomplished. So shout out to Tarsier and their project Reanimal. So with that being said, guys, that is the end of the gaming news and this episode. As always, I want to thank you guys for being here. Truly, truly means so much to me. It does. And I would love to hear from you guys as well. Again, shout out to everybody that I named in the beginning. Thank you guys for all of the support. And again, thank you guys that I don't know the names of, but would love to get to know you. Thank y'all as well for supporting the show. So as always, before we wrap this thing up and put a bow on it, if you do want to be a part of the conversation, make sure you call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice be heard, or email the show. I got tongue-tied. Email the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. So before we wrap this thing up and put a bow on it, always remember one thing. It is not about the consoles. It is about the games. So until next week, when we do it again, until then, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.